If you are in the market for a new racket, you've really got to consider these new Sonic Cores because
Hi, I'm Paul from pd8sports.com, leading online racket specialist. Squash is back. I'm in Hallamshire Squash Club in Sheffield, and I've got the brand new launch of rackets from Dunlop, the Sonic Core Elite, Sonic Core Ultimate and Sonic Core Pro. I'm very lucky to be using these new rackets. There's been loads of hype. It's been 2 years in the making. These really, today, it's all about what this Sonic Core does, how much of an improvement is it on the previous models and the differences between the three rackets. Let's take these rackets on court and see what all the hype's about.
hitting some length with this racket, it doesn't feel like a control racket. As not a massive fan traditionally now of this size, I'm really enjoying how much control, but how much power and how much forgiveness I'm feeling from this racket. It's really surprised me how much I like this racket. Powerful from a control frame. So yeah, let's see what the short shots are all about. It feels very forgiving for such a small head. The control is so good. Like every time I hit the ball, it's coming off exactly the same. So much feeling. I've got so much confidence in such a short time already. I've only been using this racket 5 minutes and it's really feels like I've been playing with it for ages. It's just, I just can't miss. You can certainly feel the extra size on the head size compared to the Pro. It doesn't feel quite as stiff. Well, you can just feel a little bit more of a livelier sort of forgiveness from the racket. The main differences are, if you're a club player, you may find that this racket offers a little bit more forgiveness compared to the Pro. So right, let's take this now onto the short shots and see how this one plays. It's beginning to get that little bit more sort of like livelier string beds, a bit more fun maybe. I would say this is probably better to someone that's not hitting the ball perfectly every time. So a few times when I've just caught it off centre, you can feel that it's a little bit more forgiving than the Pro, but you do sacrifice a touch of the control. But Gregory Gaultier, who's got probably one of the best short games in the world, is using this racket. So obviously he needs a lot of control. If he can use it and control it, it shows you sort of how high a level this racket can perform, but also for someone that maybe is not at his level. Feeling the Sonic Core technology, so it's feeling like it's got a very sort of large sweet spot. Compared to the Elite, a little bit more ball contact with the strings you can feel, so it's got a little bit more control, but it still has a very similar overall feeling, I would say, on the length shots to the Elite. I've always liked the Ultimate because I found it gives me that forgiveness that I've touched upon in some of my other videos that I now feel that I want. But what I do like about this is I get the control of the Pro racket. And that's the main differences between the Elite and the Ultimate, is you just have the bigger head size, but just a little bit more control. So it's maybe not as lively as the Elite. Final bit of the test for the Ultimate, the short shots. I'm expecting to feel more control than I did with the Elite. I may be slightly biased because this is more what I'm familiar with. I've always used the Ultimate over the Elite, so it was like a little bit more similar to the Pro in terms of the overall feel, but this sort of maximises the head size to give that little bit more forgiveness. Another important factor for me is the way they look, and I do like the look of this one. It truly exceeded my expectations. Feeling is that these rackets have a bigger sweet spot than is possible. What you're going to get is like a consistency like no other. The Ultimate and the Pro were would be my picks, because as a more experienced player, I found that I was getting the control that I really was sort of searching. But like I said, what you've got to remember is you've got Gregory Gaultier, who is a far better player than me, who is using like the elite and is able to just destroy shots with it. So it can't be discounted. It's just, for me, I'm more used to sort of like the level of feel off the racket, the control that you get from these two. If you are in the market for a new racket, you've really got to consider these new Sonic Cores, because it's one of the only new launches where you've really got a brand new construction and an effort to come out with something that's new, progressive, and will make the game more enjoyable. And especially during these times where we've all been suffering, we've not been able to play. So this is the new Sonic Core squash rackets, and of course they're available at pd8sports.com.